Hey, good morning. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Painkillers, free 30-day challenge. Day 11 already. We're already at day 11. I hope you're excited. We're a third of the way through the pain challenge, or Killerz challenge, because we want to kill our pain. And I would love to have you comment below or drop me a message telling me how you're doing. How is your pain level from before you started the challenge to right now? And you know, your overall pain level, like right this minute, you might be having a very painful surge. So don't say, oh, it's at a 10, it was at a 10 when I started, if you're actually feeling more like you're a 7 most days since you've started the challenge. So give me, how you doing, an update on that. Also, did you find a way to muscle test yesterday in your challenge that works for you? I'm still sticking by the looped fingers just because this one is so quick, so easy. I can pretty much do it anywhere. I can even be, sitting in public somewhere and I can be testing something and nobody really knows what I'm doing. They might just think I'm fiddling around because I'm kind of a fidgety, high energy person anyway. So also, if you'd like to share with me what is your favorite muscle testing technique, I'd be really curious to find out what works for most people, because sometimes I don't think I'm most people. All right, day 11. This is going to be one of those days. It's one of my favorite things because it worked and has had such a profound impact in my life. And what we're going to do is we're going to start to look at our beliefs, but kind of in a different way. Because I find if I try to challenge my own beliefs head on, I don't make very much progress. I get stalled because my ego jumps in and other people jump in, and I start looking for evidence of why my belief is the true only belief that I can possibly have. So I learned a strategy a long time ago, like years and years ago, that kind of circumvents that whole ego thing. And it's simply when I'm thinking of a belief or when I'm thinking something, I ask myself, who does that belong to? It's kind of a version of where did that come from, but it's a little bit slyer because it's who does that belong to? So for example, I might catch myself thinking something about, oh, I should not eat that, or I should eat that, or I should eat more vegetables, or I shouldn't ever eat anything with sugar in it. Well, when I think that thought, I shouldn't ever eat anything with sugar in it, number one, who does that belong to? Where did that belief and thought come from? Because I wasn't born believing that I should never eat anything with sugar. Somewhere along the way, that got implanted into my brain that I should never eat sugar. Now, it could be from the decades of yo-yo dieting and things like that, or other messages from the media or the internet or my parents or my relatives. For example, when I was chubby and dieting, well, you shouldn't eat that, Sharon. That's got a lot of sugar and calories and fat in it. It could have been just one person saying that to me. So when I catch myself thinking a particular belief, I say, well, who does that belong to? And a lot of times, that belief doesn't even belong to me. Now, do I think you should cut back on sugar and not eat sugar very often? Yes, I personally believe that. And I know from my own experience experimenting on me and my body that if I eat too much sugar, it hurts in my body. It physically causes my joints to get inflamed and to cause me more pain. So I don't like to eat a lot of sugar, but is it my belief that you should never, ever eat sugar? Well, heck no. I like my caramel once in a while. So I don't believe that anyone should never eat sugar unless, you've got super duper health challenges with it that it could kill you, which, to some people, sugar is poison. Really, to all of us, sugar is pretty much poison, but it's also very addictive and we like it. So when I think of a belief, I want to challenge it and say, who does that belong to? Here's another really good topic-related one from my life. When I was in my 20s and bedridden, I was told that there was nothing the doctors could do for me. They didn't know what was wrong with me. Therefore, they could not cure it or fix it, so I was just going to have to learn to live with it. Now, if I ask, who does that belong to? The fact that they're stating like a fact that what I have is incurable, I'm never going to get better, I'm just going to have to learn to live with the chronic pain. Well, if I ask who does that belong to, It sure as hell doesn't belong to me, because that is not going to be anything I ever choose for myself. I'm not going to choose to buy into the thought or belief that anything that I ever encounter in my life is not get betterable or fixable or curable, because I don't, number one, my being says, yeah, everything is fixable and curable and can get better. Everything can get better. But if I'm thinking and believing, my morning alarm, if I'm thinking and believing everything will never get better, I'm going to be like this forever, then guess what? I am going to be, because I'm not going to get better. So I really want to challenge thoughts and beliefs like that by asking, who does that belong to? And then if I find out it doesn't belong to me and it didn't originate with me, then I have to decide and make a conscious choice whether I want to continue to believe that or not. So in my 20s, when the doctor said, there's nothing we can do for you, your life is, this is your life. You're going to be bedridden and miserable for the rest of your life. I get to decide then whether I'm going to agree with them or not. And fortunately for me, I decided I wasn't going to agree with them, and I wasn't going to let what their beliefs and thoughts were for me in my life dictate what my life was going to become. And because of that, I have had an incredible life, and a very different life than I would have had I not questioned someone else's belief that they were trying to put into and instill in my life. And thank goodness. So today, all you have to do is, when a belief or a thought comes into your attention, when you notice that you're having a particular thought or belief, and it can be about anything. Maybe it can be, I hate eggs. And then you can ask yourself, well, who does that belong to? Maybe your mom hated eggs. Maybe your mom was allergic to eggs, so she never served you eggs. So you grew up thinking that you hate eggs, when in fact, you don't know whether you hate eggs or not because you've never had them. Well, then maybe you would decide to try them. And maybe you'll find out you're allergic to eggs too, and that's why you don't like them. I'm that way with dairy and milk. I'm not allergic to it, but it does not work well in my system. I mean, it actually caused kidney stones to form and things. So that's my body telling me, you don't need milk. You shouldn't drink dairy. You shouldn't consume milk. It's not good for you. But the only way we find out some of that stuff is if we actually test it out on ourselves, not if we buy into thoughts and beliefs from other people. So who does that belong to? Share today in the comments below. That's your challenge. One thing that you discovered belongs to another person. One thought or belief that pops into your head that you're like, oh my God, that's not even my thought or belief. I don't have to believe that anymore. And make it an awesome day. An awesome, perfect health day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.